initially, before I even hit play, I actually have some history with this opponent over here, MWKT. I've played him everything from 50-cent dollar up to 2-4 heads up PLO. And off the top of my head, I remembered him being really, really aggressive and willing to just pile in lots of money pre-flop light and definitely stick it in post-flop with any piece of the board. So hopefully my read will be correct and I'll be able to extrapolate on stuff that I already know. And we'll just hit play and see where things go. My general strategy heads up is we're going to be opening a lot of hands on the button. You really want to be raising your hands in the button, mainly because we're going to be in position throughout the whole hand. And you give your opponent a chance to just fold pre-flop. And if you're not playing your hands aggressively from the button, you're simply just not playing winning heads up PLO. So for all you people who think you can get away playing, I don't know, 2/3 of your buttons and folding the other third, you're just flat out wrong. You really should be raising, I'm not entirely sure the exact percentage, but into the 80% on your button, you should be opening them. Just as a rule of thumb, when your cards get dealt to you, raise and then see what happens and take it from there. And as your opponent gets more and more aggressive, you can adapt your strategy and then change your lines and your raise sizings and whatnot. So far so good. Our hero has been raising quite a bit every time it's come to him on the button, which is what we like to see. And we haven't really had anything go past there. Just quickly, if we do raise on the button with these types of hands, they look very similar, a pair and flush draws. But I would be more inclined to call a 3-bet with the ace-7 3-3 than I ever would with the 9-9 8-3, simply because my flush draw is going to be bigger. And if I flop a set of 9s in a 3-bet pot, it's equally as strong as flopping a set of 3s. I know people are going to pipe in and say you might get oversetted, but if we're talking 3-bet pots, you're not going anywhere when you flop your sets. It's just simply better for you to have the bigger flush draws, so I would be raise folding over here with the 9s, and I would be raise calling with the 3s, and I'm looking to hit my 3 clubs. I'm going to probably continue at least past the flop if I flop an ace, as card removal makes it harder for him to have a bigger ace than me, but I'm not going to pile in too much money. Okay, so right away we get our first 3-bet of the match. And over here I would like to talk about what's going on. We check back the flop here, which is something I really don't like. If you're raising the button, we should be firing on these ace-high boards when we get checked to, as since we haven't been 3-bet, it's more likely that we have an ace than they have an ace, and you really should be applying pressure. And with the backup of the flush draw here, and we can also turn a 9, and we can also turn a 3, this is a clear-cut bet on the flop. And if we got raised, we can simply just throw our hand away. But missing this bet on this board, I'm really not a fan of it. So, I do not agree with the line he's taken so far, and hopefully if he gets checked to on this turn, we do see a bet out of him for value, as we've been checked to twice. We now have like middle 2 pairs, and if he gets led into, there's no other option except for call. If we raise and get jammed on, we're never in good shape, and we've just burned some money that we didn't have to put in the pot. Over here on table 1 with our high rundown, especially when it comes to heads up PLO, the higher the rundown the better, simply because we have bigger cards and it allows us to make bigger pairs. So if we get 4-bet with a hand like this, we can call and comfortably stack off with any 1 pair and gut shot or 1 pair 3 over cards or better.